have been Americanos longer than America has existed. Through the ancient Indio, America offers a legacy that rivals the culture of the Egyptian, a legacy etched in stone, the skeletal remains of a gentle, fierce, and scientific people. America.
I remember as a young man, a young boy rather, seeing while I was at my grandmother's house one time, National Guard troops, rolling through the streets and trying to figure out what was going on. And first hearing the name Reyes Lopez Tijerina. How many remember that, And I didn't know who he was, but I knew that people told me, well, he's trouble. He's trouble. All these Chicanos out there making all this noise, they're trouble. And by the way, we're not Chicanos, somos Españoles. We're Spanish. We don't want to be called Chicanos. And it wasn't until I arrived at CU Boulder in the 1970s, and there was a lot going on at CU Boulder in the 1970s, when I learned and took some Chicano studies classes and learned a little bit more about my history and learned to take pride in the efforts of people like Reyes Lopez Tijerina, Corky Gonzalez, and so many others. I was inspired by reading about that history, reading poems like Yo Soy Joaquin, and now my middle son is named Joaquin. Inspired by that poem, inspired by the leadership, someone who really wanted to see all of us succeed.
Here in Denver, there was a big movement also going on under the leadership of Corky Gonzalez. And there were a lot of Chicanos involved. We protested in the streets, we marched, there were some walkouts from some high schools, and we were supporting those kids because we were demanding equal education. We were demanding that they have Chicano studies in the schools. These young people needed to know that what is generally taught as United States history did not include our community. And beyond that, I kept going to school, got my degree. Eventually, I became a professor. I taught Chicano studies at the Metropolitan State University. I taught at the University of Colorado in Boulder. And I developed the first course in the nation called La Chicana, which was about the Mexican-American woman and how we come to be in this country. It was the first one in the nation, and I taught it here at most of the schools in the state.
I definitely think we've come a long way. I mean, there's so much discrimination in the past, but today I think there's still so much to do. Immigration reform is definitely at the top of a lot of Hispanic people's minds, but I mean, other things such as health reform and education are still top priority. We have to get more Latinos to get their bachelor's degree, get their master's degree, get involved in politics, stand for what they believe in.
I think the function and the task of families are to stay involved. If it's true that we have a free and democratic participative society where we can practice true democracy, then it's incumbent upon the people to participate. And we haven't participated, but we haven't participated fully because there's been closed doors. The movement opened those doors. And if they need to be opened again, then we have to do the things that we did in the past. So what we need to do is have our families become educated, develop cultural respect, dignity, and pride in who they are, and continue the struggle.
I think that the history of Colorado is important because it shows the true character of what we fought for. It shows what we did in order to achieve equal rights, open the doors to education, begin a process of healing, and I think that we're doing pretty good in Denver right now.
I think the importance of our display is to show that what Latinos and Chicanos contributed to this country and also to Colorado and whatever state they came from, because there was a lot of Latino guys that did serve, and I think sometimes we don't get the recognition that we should get.
Our work is not done, and we still have much more to do to ensure that our community is well represented and our community is respected, and that our young people know they have every right to determine their destiny and the destiny of our community in the future.
Thank you for some of you like Polly and Ramona, who inspired me as a young person. Try to inspire others. There are great leaders out there. We just need to encourage them and support them, vote for them, make sure they're educated and prepared. That's how we will build an even better Colorado. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Movimiento.